anyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ ihe niile. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-azọpụta. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ okwu ya niile bụ ihe na amen. Anyị wee na-asị ezi ebube dị ngọzi na n'ụtụtụ na ịja mma na nsọpụrụ site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi. Ise, ise, ise.
Welcome, my amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are joining from. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you're notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much and remain blessed. If you are joining me from Africa, Asia, Europe, America, Australia, or any part of the world, I thank you very much for your contribution. Please, each time you watch my video, go to the comment section and put down your comments. That is where we need to finish.
I say, okay, come, let's talk. We finish talking. Hopefully you can finish the project. But this is a country where, so you finish, so what? Is there anybody in the Ministry of Science and Technology or somewhere else ready? Is there a place where you can say there is an institution incubating the intelligence and the talent of young people and ready to deploy them to other places? This place is a talent killer. It is. And you cannot treat young people like this and think you have a future. It's not possible. So the contestation, the gyration, the volatility will persist. We may conduct elections. We'll go through the motions. But we're not expecting, because the people that have the mental capacity, because this is the only country where, ask yourself, what are the qualifications that people bring to the table? Papers are the last thing. So people are coming, just like you rightly say, we want to be president because it's our right, it's our turn. But it's not our turn to do good. It's our turn to make up for the marginalization of our people. So when you hear me, and the things I've said against this president are true, and I've stood by them. I have a lot of respect for him. But he has been a disaster in the area of managing diversity. And the blatant nepotism is not acceptable. It's morally reprehensible. And I only stand to be corrected. It's not a question of, are the things I'm saying true or not true? Because I'm insisting that whoever becomes president of Nigeria today, tomorrow, next tomorrow, they will hear from me if they're not doing the right thing. So it's got nothing personal, because I'm saying I have seen where people have managed diversity well. I have seen why is it that now, after France won the World Cup, is there any football team now in the world that you don't see black people? Even the World Cup, Germany had to put in a black man at the last minute. So even with the racism, okay, who is talking about Oyibo person? Look at, you should have congratulated me because I'm an Arsenal supporter. Okay, you should have congratulated. I know you are jealous.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But the young man who scored the goal yesterday, is it Daniel? What? Is anybody thinking of his skin color? For one moment you lose sense of color. They may be racist. But what are the results? So if we do not aspire to create a country where we are blind to the sins of the flesh, and the sins of the flesh are what produce ethnicity, this toxicity that you define somebody standing before you not as a child of God, but you define somebody not because of his capacity, but you give him a front seat because you speak the same language, because he's from your town, because you worship in the same mosque or the same church. At that point, we're not serving God. So for me, these are the issues, nothing personal.
Bishop Kuka, do you fear at any point for your safety? Because there are people who will go beyond having arguments with you. There are those who go beyond issuing rebuttals, as we have seen with a few cases in Nigeria. Do you sometimes look at yourself, or do close relatives of yours speak to you and say, Bishop, we still need you around?
No, when people talk about fear, I ask myself, so fear of what? Really, I mean, truly, fear of what?
Death.
The only thing I'm afraid of is to break the law. That's what I'm afraid of, and I live with it every day. And the only thing that can give me a sense of fear is that I've broken the law. Short of breaking the law, I will fear a human being or fear what? I've not abused anybody. Even my worst critics will concede that I have never insulted anybody. But what is even more important to me, and for me, it's a sense of validation. So when people talk to me about fear, I don't know what they're talking about, because for me, the only fear I have is a fear that this country might go under. And it's a fear that is genuine, but we must do everything humanly possible to avert what is clearly a looming disaster. Because we can do better than this. And I know that the percentage of those who want this country to sink, probably less than 5% or 3%. So over 90% of ordinary Nigerians just want to be left to do. They're not. I think we have oversubscribed in terms of what government has the capacity to do. Because beyond electing a man from your village, after the election, you won't see him again. And there is nothing to suggest that the people from the president's town are necessarily benefiting more than other people, except of recent, where some people have on their own carried projects to Dawara. And I'm not sure that the president himself necessarily asked them to do that. But short of that, we're still struggling to get to Mina. Mina has given us 2 former heads of state. If you go to Jonathan's hometown, it's not as if you can drive with your eyes closed. Okay, if you go to, I've been to Shagari, where President Shagari came from. And I've not been to Obasanjo's hometown, but when I met Obasanjo first time, he was talking to me, he said to me, I swear, I'm sure your village is better than my own. But things may have changed now. But I'm just saying that let's look for the government to create a space that all of us can flower in. Because government can never employ everybody. 99.
It is no longer enough. As a matter of fact, it's not acceptable for the governors, the president, the vice president, the head of CAN, anybody to continue to say, may the souls of the people departed. They did not depart in peace. So I don't see how we're expecting them to rest in peace. These people are murdered, for God's sake. They are slaughtered. They are blown to cemeteries. And every time somebody flies in, Tinubu went and gave them 75 million naira. What is that going to do? Is that going to bring them back? If I were some of the people, I wouldn't take that money. Bring my relatives or my loved ones back. We have to stop this nonsense. And then the president says, definitely we will catch the perpetrators. No, it's not true. The perpetrators, how will you catch them? They're from Mali, according to the governor. And they've gone back to Mali, as far as I'm concerned, because that's the nonsense we will hear, that they can't find them. And yet you have the president giving the order to deploy soldiers in Niger Delta, in the southeast, where there are insecurity. And yet in the place where foreigners come in and kill Nigerians, Christians particularly, and you tell me that you can't find them, that they are from Mali, and then tomorrow you bring some people you have picked up that cannot speak for themselves, parade them about, and say that these are the people that committed this crime. This is a well-targeted, a planned and orchestrated attack on the people that were in that church. Yes, it's in Yoruba Kingdom. Yes, it's in Yoruba Nation. But I am almost certain that some of the people, the majority of the people are Yoruba people that died. But other Nigerians that live in that community would have also died if they are Catholics. And so the government has failed, and we must either restructure this country. So
I mean, as we see in Kaduna, we also have an equally complex situation in Anambra. This is especially as, you know, we continue to see denials by IPOB that this is not them. Whatever is happening in Anambra is not them. Who do you think, because all of this started, this sit at home, some violence in the southeast seem to have started on the back of agitations. We saw it in Imo, we've seen it in Anambra, parts of Ebonyi have experienced it, even some parts of Abia. But right now it seems that Anambra is the one under focus. Who do you think has a responsibility to say, you know what, we've looked at it and these are truly not IPOB agitators? Do you think that this should be the IPOB trying to prove that they're not the ones, or do you think that it should be the state trying to sift wheat from chaff?
Thank you, Malbert. I think time has come that we should view things in its real perspective. The MASOB and IPOB, they have consistently come out to say, look, we are not the ones doing this. And this agitations has lingered on for quite a long time. I think high time we sit back and consider doing some of the needfuls. Since these people are unknown and they appear to be presenting a front before the government and saying this violence, we are not the one creating it. We are for social reasons. I think we need to reconsider one issue and examine whether or not they actually have a genuine case and invite them to a table where we can discuss and resolve this issue once and for all, to avoid this bloodletting and some other groups come in the name of IPOB or myself and creating havoc in the communities. I think
what I find disturbing is there's a conversation, Mr. Abe, if I may. I mean, there's a conversation already ongoing. We've seen moves by the current governor who has said from day one that he believes that there should be negotiation. He has visited the leader of the group, Nnamdi Kanu, in DSS custody. And Nnamdi Kanu has also said that, he doesn't think that the way he doesn't think that that is IPOB doing those kinds of things, and if that is, that they should stop those kinds of things. Negotiations are currently ongoing, but the killings are not abating. That's the troubling part of it. What I'm wondering is, shouldn't we be seeing a collaboration between, IPOB and the state agents to actually fish out those who are, perpetrating this evil in the southeast?
I do believe too that should be done because, and sometimes we look at the sincerity of government in doing certain things. And I think these IPOB members are human beings and they belong to the southeastern region. And if they are convinced that the government is honest and sincere about this move, I think they will come forward to resolve this issue.
In the meantime, what do you think? Because right now we're not clear on the motives of these people. Communities are being attacked. This is not kidnapping for ransom. This is kidnapping to make a statement. The lawmaker who was kidnapped, his head was reportedly found in a motor park. You have to ask, what exactly is the motive? There have been all manner of gory... What exactly... Most times when criminals commit a crime, oftentimes there is some benefit, which accrues to them. For those who are rapists, they have their own benefits. For those who are kidnappers, one could see economic benefit. For those who are armed robbers, you could see the economic implications of that. But for this group of people, what precisely do they stand to benefit?
To create fear, to make the people submit to them. Fear is the greatest benefit such organization can achieve. Great fear. If they can go to the extent to kill such a highly placed individuals in the community, I think they have been able to establish themselves in that community, and they are going to now be in perpetual control of their community, and the people must now do exactly what they want to be done. If we say don't go into politics, don't go into an election campaign, if you do, this is going to be exactly what will happen to you. they've been able to...
Really big questions.
Great fear.
I think it's important to state at this point that we try to get the Deputy Superintendent of...
really grabbed that ticket. But before even the contest started, he left the PDP. What do you think transpired? Was he frustrated out? Do you think he read the handwriting and saw this, or he felt he could push his mandate to using other platform?
You see, I told you about the attitude of most Nigerians towards the Igbo man. And that is the truth. No matter how even as they're watching me now.
No, it may not be the truth, it's just the opinion.
No, I'm coming. I'm coming.
It's the opinion, not the truth.
I'm coming, it's the truth.
Opinion is different from the truth.
As they're watching me now, they say, why is Dan saying this? But in their heart of heart, they know it is true. I repeat it. The Igbo man is the most hated person in Nigeria. For no reason. Somebody told me one day, I'm coming back to your question. I said, they don't allow people to come. They don't allow people to do business in their places. You run away because you can't compete with them. That nobody builds a house. I went to and took a CFO and gave the man. I give you this, go and prepare the deed, let me sign. Go and build there. I say he doesn't want. You will not build it. Because you don't believe in the people. They don't drive you away from business because you cannot compete. Now,
security outfit, that we could say that the Southwest was relatively peaceful. The level of peace that we saw in the Southwest, one cannot believe what now happened this time. But again, look at what the federal government, the president himself, and his minders did when Akeredolu made that position on. They fought him, they attacked him, they issued statements, they threatened. Look, except we are not in this Nigerian ship together for our common good, public policy at every point in time, especially when a country is facing existential threats by terrorists all over the country, the right thing to do is to cooperate. You look at what is the public policy by Akeredolu and his governors of the Southwest trying to achieve by saying people should come out of the forest. And the idea was, come out and be documented. Come out and be documented. Let's know those of you that are licensed by us to be there, so that if anything happens, we hold you responsible. But the federal government kicked and shouted and intimidated the governors of the Southwest, especially Akeredolu, who would ordinarily not be intimidated. What is the point? We must get leadership that is sensitive and responsible enough to know that the primary duty is to secure lives and property. And until government wakes up to that responsibility, it will continue to feel like people like Governor Akeredolu and the others are working against their own intents and purposes, whereas that's the right thing to do. And we must do documentation, because as you see, beyond the massacre in Owo are other levels of killings here and there that people take laws into their hands and kill. We were still smarting from Saturday's incidents, Friday to Saturday morning's incidents, where somebody was lynched in Abuja, in Lugbe axis of Abuja. And as we speak till now, nobody has been arrested because people are not documented. What is the essence of the NIN if we do not use this to link to people's mobile phones? As we speak till now, people are still able to make phone calls. How do terrorists make calls to families of their abductees? How do they make those calls? These are not being tracked. We are not, I think government is not decisive enough. There is no political will yet to deal with it. Otherwise, nobody has been tried and brought to book for terror.
Again, let me, many Nigerians will not be looking to the federal government at this point, considering the antecedents and the insecurity the country is already bedeviled with. This incident looks like it's going to have to, the governors of the Southwest are going to have to come together and find a way, because how they respond to this attack will determine whether terrorists have come to stay in the Southwest or not. I do know that you said earlier that, you know, governors don't control the military or control the police. However, this doesn't make the governors helpless. What do you expect Governor Akeredolu and his, you know, his colleagues in the Southwest to be doing at this time, as you know, because what affects one affects all, particularly when you share a region?
Nigeria is a federation, even though not properly ran as a federation. But the governors are not helpless. What they need to do is to get enough funds and invest strongly in Amotekun, strengthen them, train them, invest in them. They are not totally helpless. What we appeal to the government of President Muhammadu Buhari is, when governors try to take proactive measures to help protect the lives of their people, if the government of Muhammadu Buhari will not.
Thank you so much for your patience to watch from the beginning to the end. I hope you have learned something from the video you have just watched. The video you have just watched is to bring information to your doorstep and for educational purpose. It is not to demonize anybody. Let us watch continuously and see who can be able to make a sense out of every nonsense we are seeing. We must continue. We move. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. They will kill us. We will kill them. At the end of the day, Biafra is here. Thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please kindly subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so that you're notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you, and remember blessed. Bye-bye. See you again.